I don't know why people aren't going to work. I just know that there's a lot of choices out there, and people might be going to work and saying, I don't want this job. I'm going to go try another, and I'm going to go try another, and I'm going to try another. The problem is we're creating a habit. And you know, it's almost like what Stephen Furtick of Elevation Church said. He says, you can jump all over the churches you want. You can go to this one and that one and this one and this one and this one, but it's not fair to the church that you're going to. Find one and stick to it. Learn from that community, which is interesting. So the next time you go from job to job to job to job, quit creating the habit and learn from that community. Grow with it instead of be against it. Is that too harsh? Was that too harsh? Unplug, because we will always say yes to creativity. Totally Uncut, because we all make mistakes. So turn it into a tool. This is Arroe Unplugged. Man, it's all about change. Oh my God, every day there's just something new in the word of change. Yes, we're challenged. Yes, there are times that we're weak in the knees. I have back and leg pain so bad right now that it's like, don't stop. Understand the definition of perseverance. Yeah, that's one of those martial arts words, isn't it? Perseverance. Moving through the storm. Facing the chariot. Yeah, that's one of those Jesus words, right? Facing the chariot. Yeah, don't run from the pillars of salt. Face them. Be strong. Be willing with your way, but understand and have empathy for those that are with you. Help stop the chase. Let's learn from this. Let's build. Let's replenish. Let's get the third and fourth generation from here into a mode of I am, because they chose to be. That's pretty freaking heavy. Holy God. Be with me today. Be with us all today. Hey, this is Arroe, and this is the Daily Mess, a daily chronological walk through an everyday world. I am a daily writer. I never know what I'm going to write about. All of a sudden, I'm sitting there looking at this page with words, and I'm going, what? I wrote this? Why? What was moving through me? I don't know. I can never explain it. I just agree to do it. That's my daily discipline. Living in the presence of now. This is the Daily Mess. And today is weird. Today is weird, but I think there is a really, really deep message in this. And not one that's going to guilt trip you or anything like that, but I think it's a picture, and I think it's a postcard from today. I really do. Can we, as a modern generation, be so trapped in the arc of survival that in all things played out, the full view of dreams coming true was left in a jar by the door? Who was it left for? Eleanor Rigby lived in a dream. Her face was in that very jar. While on the front line, I'm not getting to see a face. It's only eyes. The rest is covered up by a mask. Father Mackenzie wrote the words of a sermon that no one heard. What about this daily writer that I am? And you might be, could be, will be, should be. All the lonely people. Where do they all come from? You may not know this, but Eleanor died in the church, buried along with her name. Nobody came. I wonder so many times about today's funerals. Are they happening? Families are choosing to cremate, then place the jar by the door. But who is it for? A modern generation trapped in an arc of survival. If it wasn't for Google Calendar, I truly believe inside my soul, we'd all agree that it's still March 12th, 2020, the day the world stopped. The jar by the door. What are you dropping off? Is it daily? Hourly? Minute by minute? The jar by the door. Who is it for? You think that we're walking into this age where we still have these feelings and that, you know, that we're compassionately together and you feel like, yeah, man, we escaped the COVID. It's not over yet. And what's happening is that inflation is consuming the buyer. And I'm there on the essential front line, and I see what those prices are doing to you. For many, and this is not a judgment call, but they got the card. You know what card I'm talking about. So therefore, not everybody had to work for what's on that card. They just had to show up. Eleanor Rigby died in that church. She was buried along with her name. The jar by the door. Who is it for? The things that you are doing right now, are you serving yourself, or is your focus on your children's children? That's not too deep of a thought, because you know what's happening, because the Google Calendar reminds you every day that it used to be March 12th, 2020, and somehow, some way, it has become November 5th, 2021. I remember back in March of 2020 when the experts said, yeah, it's going to take 2 years to get over this COVID-19 virus. I'm going, 2 years? 2 years? What are you talking about? And yet it's here. How? How? What are you dropping in the jar by the door? I ask myself that daily. The words on a page, is that what's in the jar by the door? No. My dreams? Yeah. Can we, as a modern generation, be so trapped in the ark of survival that in all things played out, the full view of dreams coming true are left in the jar by the door? Are you doing what you want to do? My wife is fully retired. She is. I love her so much for being so dedicated to the school system that, you know what? The time came. The time came. And I thought, wow, glory to God. She's getting the opportunity to finally rest, because the past 18 months as a school teacher, oh my God, I pray for every one of those teachers. Please, Lord, give them the strength. But the thing is, though, is that my wife has not stopped. In fact, I guess it might be one of those mental conditions that I don't know about, but I need to read about it without going to Google. I need to see an expert. I really do. That in the moment of retirement, when you let go of the career that you've had for all of these years, you have a sense of emptiness. Emptiness. Because you're not expected to go to that place anymore. You're not expected to be that server. There you go. Did you see that? That server, that giving person to the public, that thought that you planted in somebody else's field and they grew from it. My wife had students way back when I first met her in 1992 that have children of their own today, that are going to have children soon. A server for all of those years. And you wonder, where does the mind go? What is in her jar? She won't dream in the way that she once did, because she's taken that jar and she says, we're going to live this out. My dreams are not going to die today. So once again, can we as a modern generation be so trapped in the ark of survival that in all things played out, the full view of dreams coming true are left in a jar by the door? Get that jar and tip it upside down and get back to living. You deserve it. I'm Arroe, and that's the Daily Mess.